Welcome to the channel. My name is Chris. Today I want to help you with your timing when you're trying to add fills and licks between chords. So I'm going to play something very simple here. In theory, just 3 chords: G, C, and D. 1, 4, 5 progression, very common progression in the key of G. What we're going to do is add a little melodic fill in between. Five, 4, 1. Now, I've talked about this in the past, about adding fills between chords, and in this video I really want to focus on the rhythm and timing aspect because I think that's the hardest part of using this technique. The main questions are always, how can I fit this in between the chords? How can I put a fill in there? And also, when do I know when to go back to the chord after I'm playing the fill? So fundamentally, this is a timing problem, and the easiest way to solve that is by counting together. So we're going to count with a 4 count, common time 4/4. We're going to give 2 beats to the chord shape and 2 beats to the fill. And what I would do is either use quarter notes for the fill, so that means you'd only have 2 notes to create a fill. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, that's very simple, so we can do 8 notes maybe. That would sound like this. 1, 2, 4. By doing 2 beats for the chord and 2 beats for the fill, that leaves you enough time to count and get back. So, a tip, we're going to use the bass note for beat 1, chord for beat 2, and then we can use 8th notes for 3 and 4 end. And the notes I'm using for the G major chord are the 5th and 7th fret on the E and the A string. So, beat 1, bass note, chord, fill. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Now, you can let the chord ring, but I like to stop it because it also will help with your muting. So if you're having trouble muting with your fretting hand, that's a good way to work on taking the pressure off the bar chord to stop it and giving yourself a light enough pressure that you can jump to the 5th fret accurately. That's another thing to mention that's very difficult. You need to be accurate about playing here and jumping up 2 frets to a whole different set of strings. You're going from bar to single notes back to a bar chord. That's a skill in and of itself, and it'll take a little bit of time to get used to. So the same pattern is going to apply to the chords on the A string, these A-shaped chords here, C major and D major. Let's talk a little bit about the theory of how these fills work over the chords. So when we're playing the G major chord, we're playing the 2nd, the major 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th of the major pentatonic scale, right? And that's going to apply off the C, and the same with the D. C and G. So we're just playing the notes from the pentatonic scale in the parent key G, the key where all these chords fit inside of and sound well together. Now the timing will be the same for the A shape, of course. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. You can pick. In fact, if you're starting and you're having trouble with timing, I would not use hammer-ons and pull-offs for this because those are a lot harder to control. So if you have trouble 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, then I would just pick. And you'll notice I'm not allowing all the notes to connect because it sounds a little bit cleaner like that, but that's totally up to you. If you want to let the notes connect and pick them all, it might help with the timing. The goal is just to be able to play everything in a continuous flow without breaking it up and starting like going back and forth like that, and either jumping, being ahead of the beat, or being behind it. So now I want to talk about the rhythm that I played at the intro. If you feel like you're a little bit more advanced and you want to switch up the rhythm, now this has a little bit more of a free-flowing, I don't know, reggae, Jack Johnson, islandy thing, you know, and that really comes from the muted. I'm kind of playing around with the rhythm there and a little bit of reverb. And I'm trying to come in on the accent. Boom. So here's kind of the strumming pattern that I'm thinking of. I'll play it with muted strings so you can just kind of hear what it sounds like. Another thing I want to mention is that accent. So after I hit the bass note, I do hit it with a harsher attack to kind of build that beat on 2. So one of the biggest tips I recommend to get the timing down is to start with the chords and then just use strums for the other beats. 1, 2. That way you know when the fills come in. Three and 4 and 1, 2. 3 and 4 and 1, 2. 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Now I'm switching up the rhythm a little bit, kind of dragging it. So you can definitely play around with the beat, especially if you're playing by yourself. You know, you don't have a drummer, so you can kind of manipulate time a little bit like that, and it can be a lot of fun. So I really hope this video was helpful and gives you a little more insight into the counting and sort of the mathematics behind putting the fills between chords. As long as you don't overcomplicate those fills, I mean, that's something that comes later, where you can start syncopating, you can start using 16th notes and triplet fills. But to start, I think quarter note and 8th note fills are perfectly fine. Go check out my Patreon if you want to look at the interactive notation and the downloadable PDF. Everything is up there for all of my lessons. As always, it was a pleasure to have you. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.